Hello and welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman Khan here with British heavyweight Nick Webb as we move into 2023. Nick, sir, how are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you, mate. I'm out here in Germany, in Munich at the moment, visiting my missus' family. Spent Christmas and New Year's here, so I'm very good.
What did you get a heavyweight boxer for Christmas, Nick?
What's that? Sorry,
What did you get a heavyweight boxer for Christmas?
just new gloves, I guess.
Well, speaking of new gloves, I've seen you've been throwing hands again in the gym, getting ready for something big in 2023, Nick.
Yeah, definitely, just getting myself up and ready again. I always train anyway. I'm not a lazy fighter. I just like to eat. It's my only problem. But but yeah, I've been in training and getting ready for 2023, mate.
Nick, you didn't get out in 2022. I know you were offered fights last year, but what was the reason, in your own words, for the inactivity last year?
Sort of, I don't want to be in a position for when I do retire, like many fighters, not knowing really what I want to do. So I just wanted to get in a position where I'm qualified and I'm ready to take that next step when it does come.
What are those things you've been doing outside the ring to set yourself up, and what's that kind of path you're looking at?
So I took a mental health course, level 3, because I sort of want to give back and sort of help others. And I've been working with kids as a mentor. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I like giving back, and it's quite fulfilling. So yeah, I like it. It's good.
When you say working with youth and mentoring, what is it exactly you're doing? Is it boxing specific, or is it just about life in general?
Life in general, but obviously I use my experience in boxing to that's sort of what helped me. And working with naughty kids, a lot of boxers, especially me, was a naughty kid back in the day. So you see a lot of themselves in me. So I just like to try and change their lives and give them someone sort of to look up to and something to strive towards, because the life they're in is not a good one.
When you say that, is there a piece of advice that you wish you'd had when you were a naughty child, like you were saying, that you can probably give yourself now?
Well, for me, I think starting boxing earlier would have been better for me, but I think boxing sort of came at the right time to keep me out of trouble, and that's what I sort of want to let these. It's about discipline and you know doing when you're a kid and growing up, you feel like you have something to prove the whole time, but really when you start boxing and things like that, you realize is the only thing you got to prove is to yourself.
Hmm. Very well said, Nick. Nick, moving into the boxing aspect of your life, you mentioned there fights been offered to you last year, but it didn't quite materialize for you. Um, are you looking at targeting any specific fight or fights this year coming into 2023?
Not anybody in particularly. It would literally just be the right opponent. So someone, who I think's a good level, and someone that, obviously I have a good, you know, I find myself, I have a good, what's the word I'm looking for? A good standard to fight anybody. So if it comes along the right fight, I'm ready, and that's what I want to take.
I think your last fight you fought Fabio Wardley for the English title,
Yeah.
but that English heavyweight championship is now vacant as Fabio has moved up to British level and won the British title there. Do you look at maybe looking to try and win the English title, possibly?
Literally, like I just told you, any step, any right fight is what I want to take, and anything like a English title, British titles is something that's, as a kid, as a boxer, is always a dream come true. So if I can fight for that, it would definitely be something I would look at.
A couple of fighters I want to talk to you about. First of all, towards the back end of last year, we watched it was a 50-50 fight between Steve Robinson and Nick Campbell. Steve Robinson ended up getting the win over Nick Campbell. Do you maybe fancy a fight with Steve Robinson at all?
Uh, I would fight anybody, but like I said, I think he's still got, I'm more, I don't want to say it, but I'm that looking at bigger fights than this. But he is but he's done really well, and he shook up. He wasn't there to win. I don't think he was more as the opponent, and he took the win. And fair play to him, he took it spectacularly, and he was a tough man in there. He took lot of big shots, and he got the win in fantastic fashion. So fair play to him.
The other fight I want to mention to you as well is Dave Allen. He's looking to return. He's confirming he's returning this year. A future rematch between you and Dave Allen sounds like a good one, Nick. Is that something you're interested in as well?
Oh yeah, of course I'd be interested in that one. But yeah, he's on his comeback. I'll be on my comeback, so that would be definitely one to look at. To clash pass with him would be to get the win against him would be, how I'd feel about that.
Yeah, is that something that you particularly hold, or something you want to really get back? That win.
I think any loss to any opponent you have, you always want that rematch. I'm a competitor first, and getting beat by anyone is a hard pill to swallow. So anybody that's beat me, my 3 losses, I want a rematch, obvious, and get it done right.
Speaking of Fabio Wardley, who was the last fighter you fought, he, as I mentioned, went on to capture the British title. What do you make of Fabio? You've been in there in the ring with him. How far do you think is the potential he does have in the ring?
He's got all the tools. I believe. I think I said last time. Last time I spoke about him, he could go all the way. Definitely, it's up to him, and he's someone. I think he showed it against me, against other opponents, and definitely against Gorman. Is that when he gets caught with a good shot, he seems to be woken up and fires on all cylinders. And I think that catches it caught me unawares. It caught Gorman a bit unawares, and it's just to deal with that. I think he could, if he can start a bit faster, that would probably be his only downfall.
Nick, moving on to a couple of other things before I bring it back to you. In the gym back in Brighton, it was supposed to be Chris Eubank Jr. preparing for Conor Benn. It since has come out that Conor Benn had failed 2 tests. He's now looking to fight his corner for that and come out to prove his innocence. What was your reaction to that and the feeling at the gym at the time? If you can cast your mind back to that.
Conor Benn is a good guy. And I'm from before he turned over. I just hope he proves his innocence. That's all. I was shocked. I didn't think he would. So I just hope he proves his innocence, and I think he will. So I hope for the best for him.
Chris Eubank Jr. turns his attention to Liam Smith, which has been billed as very much a 50-50 fight between the both of them, a crossroads fight where neither can afford to lose there. Your thoughts on Chris Eubank Jr. And his challenge against Liam Smith?
I think that's a great fight. Great, fighters at their stage of their careers. So for me, obviously, I'm Eubanks all the way. So hopefully he does the job.
Do you get a chance to speak to Roy Jones Jr. when he's at the gym at all, Nick?
I haven't actually been there when they've been in training, so hopefully I will get to be there next time. So I would love to have a chat with him and talk boxing and talk through his experiences.
How do you feel Chris does beat Liam when the two go at it in the ring? What does he have to do to get the win?
I think he just has to do what Chris does, and that's high intensity, big engine, and just work, and he get the win. I think he probably get the stoppage.
Nick, you're a heavyweight. Let's look at the top of the tree. That being, we're hopefully going to be getting Fury versus Usyk this year. Boxing fans are calling for that undisputed heavyweight title fight. Who is your pick right now to capture the undisputed titles, Fury or Usyk?
I'm British, and I love Fury, so of course Fury all day, every day, twice on a Sunday, as you would say. But I think he gets a win, and I think Usyk is an outstanding boxer, but Fury using his size and weight, I just don't see it. I just can't see him losing. No way.
If you were Usyk, how would you go about trying to get the win over Fury?
Uh, I think I would just try and make it rough and nasty. Just get in there, head on his chest, and punch away until he goes down. But I think USYK is not that kind of fighter. He's a intelligent boxer.
The other fight I want to talk to you about is Anthony Joshua. A lot of talk about Anthony Joshua as he continues his trainer search, and a lot of spotlight on him there. What's your kind of thoughts about Anthony Joshua as he's come through the second defeat to Alexander Usyk and looks for a new trainer who potentially might be Roy Jones Jr.?
I wish you all the best to Anthony Joshua. It's not. I hate when people define people by their losses, because it's not. And he's lost and he's come back all well. I know he lost that last fight, but he fought outstanding in that fight. He fought better. Everyone's saying it's one of his best performances. He fought really well. So, yeah, I think styles make fights, and Usyk for Anthony Joshua is a Achilles heel, so it is what it is. And I think when he does come back, he will come back fantastic.
It looks like we'll be getting Anthony Joshua versus Dylan White 2, 3 if you count the amateur fight that they had there. A great fight in the offing there. Who would you pick to win between Joshua and White?
Obviously their last fight was a good fight, and Joshua got the better of him, so I'm going to go on that again. And I just think Joshua will just have too much firepower, I think. But who knows, Dylan has learned a lot and he's got great experience now, so who knows? It's winnable for both of them.
Nick, let's bring it back to you before I close out. A couple more names I want to throw at you, your thoughts on them and potentially you facing them this year. First of all, you mentioned there Nathan Gorman is on the losing end of the fight with Fabio Wardley. How about yourself and Nathan Gorman? Is that something you'd like to see, an opponent in the future you'd like to see yourself in the ring against?
We were supposed to be matched, years ago. Me and Gorman, we nearly had a fight, got cancelled 2 weeks before. So obviously would have loved to have that fight back then and love that fight now. Definitely.
How would the fight go?
Don't ask me silly questions. I'd whoop him.
The other fight I want to talk to you about as well is another fighter on the climb this time around. It's David Adeleye there. What do you make of David?
Yeah, I think he's showed improvement in his last fight. I think he's a good athlete and he looks strong. So that would also be a great fight for me to have.
Should I not ask you the question of how that fight goes this time around?
Don't ask silly questions.
Nick, the final thing I wanted to ask you is this. I mean, regardless of the fight, when can we expect to see you out this year? And how many times do you want to be out this year?
I always take one fight as it goes. So, hopefully within the next 3 months I'll be out. That's what I see.
Nick, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. As you just got a few internet connection issues there, but it's been a pleasure speaking to you once again, Nick. Looking forward to seeing It's a Nick Ting back in the ring this year. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out. We'll speak to you soon, pal.
My pleasure. Wicked, mate. My pleasure.
No worries.